Okay, for supplies that you have access to in the room, I'm going to start in the corner where the exit door is in the back. There is one wall sharpener over here. I'm just going to ask that you don't use it. As you can see, it does not have a cover on it. Then if you look right over to the side here, there is an electric sharpener. All my electric sharpeners in the classroom are the same. So they all have a fill line on the side. Okay, so here's the fill line on the side. When you notice that it's full, you just pop off the front container, take it to the trash, dump it over into the trash, and then just set it right back in its place and make sure it clicks together like that so that it continues to work. Then you're going to notice over here there is a set of 3 drawers. In the top drawer is where I store our large Sharpie markers. In the middle drawer is where the small Sharpie markers are going to be located, and then in the bottom drawer is where we have our erasers located. So if you're on this side of the classroom, then that's where you're going to come to get those supplies because it's faster for you. Then taking a tour of the room here, there's a garbage can by my desk. Then there is a stapler on my desk, the only roll of clear tape at my desk, and another sharpener. And there are pencils if you need to borrow one, although I do ask that you please try to bring your own. Then we have our yarn, which is on a rolling cart, so it's movable, so we can get it out of the way from our bulletin boards when we need to. Same thing with our radio. Moving over towards the front door of the classroom, there are the same setup of supplies over here that were over on the far side of the room. So we have our electric pencil sharpener, our large Sharpies, small Sharpies, and erasers in the bottom drawer again. Taking a tour over by the doors where you will see aprons. So when you're working on projects like painting or clay, you may want an apron. There's also a recycle bin off to the side there as well. Moving right along, there is our classroom bulletin board with our rules and other things up there, other information. And then we have our clay kiln room with the calendar on that door. So I will refer to the calendar from time to time. There is a wall sharpener over here. You may try this one if you wish. This one does have a cover on it, so just be careful if you're going to be using that one. It tends to eat pencils of mine more than sharpen them, but feel free to try. And looking at a straight shot of our cutting board right next to my office here, this is where you are going to turn in finished work. So you can see there are hours labeled on the side, and you can see where there is already work turned in from the quarter. Moving right along over to our supply cabinet. You never have to ask to come in this cabinet. Things are available for you as you need them. So you just open up the doors and you're going to notice the set of buckets. On the right side you're going to find our glue, tape, handheld pencil sharpeners for colored pencils, rulers, things of that nature. And then in the middle and to the left is where you're going to find coloring supplies. We have 8 tables in the room, so there are 8 buckets of colored pencils, 8 buckets of markers, and 8 buckets of crayons. So to find your bucket of colored pencils, you're going to look on the color key. Colored pencils are labeled in red, so I would find my table number. If I sit at table 2, red, table 2, I would take that bucket to my table so that everybody can share. And then we just keep that closed up when nobody's using it. Then moving right along to the back of the room. In the back of the room to the far side of the sinks, we have our storage drawers. So this is where our folders will go, our sketchbooks will go, things like that. Projects that you're working on where you are not actually ready to turn those in yet. That is where we will store our things while we're working on them in class. So then you're going to notice we have 4 sink stations. We have a recycle bin and a trash can at the sink stations. We also have a paper towel dispenser and soap dispenser at the sink stations. And your table has an assigned sink. The tables are assigned up above the sink station so that you can see I'm in the corner of the room and this is table 7 and 8's sink. So you will find sponges underneath, 2 sponges, one for table 7, one for table 8 underneath. You will also find water buckets underneath for your table. There's 2 water buckets per table. On the back counter in the center, you're going to see I have some things set up. Those are where I put extra things for 6th graders that are working on projects, and there are 2 electric sharpeners back there as well. And then I have some stuff set up in the far corner. That's where I set up any extra supplies that 5th graders will need for projects. So if you're a 6th grader, you'll go to the middle to get extra supplies like paper and things like that. If you're a 5th grader, you're going to go to the corner to find your correct paper. Last but not least is our dry rack. We use that quite a bit in here. All I ask is that you don't run your fingers down it like a musical instrument. It tends to have the shelves get stuck if you do that. So that's it. Hopefully you can draw your map now of where the supplies are located in the room.